Greetings, sakes, solid, liquid, venomous, and otherwise. Jared Petty here for IGN, joined by
John Ryan. That is a lot of snakes, Jared.
That is a lot. There are many snakes. There are solid ones. There are
solid us
snakes.
ones.
Yeah, but moving beyond all the snakes and the dog wearing goggles,
that
go
too.
to we're talking about Metal Gear Solid here. We're going to talk about Mother Base and combat deployment, kind of the economic simulator end of this game, which is really kind of the heart of getting your hands on the best equipment.
Yeah, I mean, it's something that you're definitely going to need to do a lot, and something that you'll always have to keep in mind when you're out in the field in Africa or Afghanistan.
Absolutely.
As well.
Yeah, we're going to sit here and land on Mother Base. Now, the nice thing about this is you can manage Mother Base without being on Mother Base.
Yes,
you
super handy.
Yeah, you don't have to go back, although you can get to Mother Base and bolster morale by showing up. And how do we bolster morale, John?
By punching dudes.
That's
obviously.
right. If we want to
punch dudes in the face,
increase their morale, we can just give them a little, elbow chuck. And
that's not enough morale.
No, that's not enough morale. We want more morale. Let's get some morale. That's right.
That is a suplex right
There's
there.
some morale. A little suplex, more morale there. But yeah, really, this does actually help your base, beating up your guards.
It's technically training with them.
That's right. So
hey, that guy's not punched in the face yet.
No, he's not.
Anyways.
Shall we spare him?
No.
Oh, okay. There we go. So, now that we're done punching dudes, let's talk about what you can actually accomplish with this here base. So, let's look around a little bit. So here's our Mother Base menu where all kinds of neat things going on. This shows our development. We can create all kinds of weapons and special equipment here at Mother Base. We can flip through and see just some of what becomes available. But all this isn't available from the beginning, right?
No,
John?
God, no.
Okay, so how do we get this? Well, the way that we do that is by working through our staff management teams. You see, when we go through the missions, we got this nifty Fulton device, and we can use it to, well, kidnap dudes?
Yeah, pretty much kidnap people. You will also get a steady supply of volunteers.
Yep.
Who will be recruited and find their way to you themselves.
And then, based on these people's talents and what they're good at, you can divide them across your different teams. Medical, intel, support, base development, R&D. R&D is one of the ones that's kind of a standout. That's one that helps you get equipment. Security. But all of these are useful for various different reasons. We even have a sick bay and a brig, and that comes into some different stuff. But you constantly bring these guys in. You assign them to teams. You coerce them into joining your army.
Yep.
And then you allow them to fill these roles. They, in turn, generate resources and revenue for you.
Yep.
And that creates more dollars for you. That opens up new R&D levels. As levels increase, equipment trees open up.
Right. So if you open up your base development section.
Yep. You look at facilities.
Yes,
or
that's
here?
the one.
Okay.
You can see the base development platform itself.
Yep.
Is something they will go out and bring in materials and GMP for you.
Right.
But if you can go over to your deployment missions, in the missions tab, this is really where you're going to earn a bunch of money that doesn't come directly from you out in the world.
This is the secret heart of the economics of the game. People have made a big deal about the diamonds, about raising money that way. This is where, in the mid to late game, you make your money. Because what you do is you take your recruits, put them on combat teams, which is why you want to recruit the best specialists that you can. Then you send them out in the field, and you look at this one, just the reward at the bottom left of the screen, GMP, 400,000. You don't go on this mission. You just send dudes out.
It takes an hour and 15, 20 minutes, and then it just happens.
And you can send different teams with different abilities. Why would you send a lower tier team? Well, maybe you don't want to risk your best guys in certain missions. You send your lower tier guys on lower missions, your higher tier teams on higher missions. You also have this. This is another one of the most important.
Now, these are the ones that are really important.
Yeah, these are really fun.
You can see that the payout for them are a little bit less.
Right.
However, Jared, do you want to explain what those white boxes next to the actual missions themselves mean?
Absolutely. So during the game, Metal Gear adapts to your play style.
Yeah.
So if you shoot a lot of guys in the head, eventually dudes start wearing helmets around. This allows you to attack the facilities where things like helmets or flashlights or night vision equipment are produced. You send your teams out, they raid those, and they deprive your foes of that annoying equipment.
So the next time you go into the field after seeing a bunch of helmets or security cameras, those things might not be there.
I absolutely hate riot suits, but with those gone. So this is here on the base. Now, here's the best part of this. Yes, you come to Mother Base, you boost morale, you can visit your little zoo, you can do all this fun stuff, you can see that Big Boss is watching you, all the rest of that.
Spooky.
Yeah, it is a little spooky there. But if you really, really want to do this, you can do it from the field.
Yep.
And that's the best part. Fulton people out, manage the base. You do not have to come back here all the time, although it is one of the few places in the world you can get a good shower. And
this is true. You do need to do that.
Yeah, you got to get that shower. Snake gets a little stinky every now and then if you don't. So that's just a little bit of basic deployment. Now, it's really not all that hard. Just put high numbers where they logically belong.
Yep.
If somebody's
the good thing, too, is if you go to your staff management tab, there's this great button that says auto assign.
Yeah, right there, R3.
So you can automatically use that to push whoever you need around into where they're supposed to be.
Right, waiting room staff's just your unassigned guys. I find all staff to be generally most useful.
Because it'll reshuffle people if more important people show up.
However, if you have the slots, if you've got the room for more staff, and you want to push, say, research and development is the most important thing to you, there's an item you just want, just throw more people into R&D, throw warm bodies at it, and it'll eventually work out.
I like how this Pouncing Harrier lady is better at combat than Ocelot.
Yeah, Pouncing Harrier is kind of fantastic. There's actually a couple of these really great experts like that. And again, these base facilities, what do these accomplish? Well, opening the first one up opens up new teams, but building more of them lets you have more people on the teams.
Ride.
Are we going to go for a ride?
Yeah, let's go for a ride.
All right, you taking a ride here? Let's go for a ride.
But yeah, so I mean, if you want, you can spend a bunch of time here at Mother Base. And the thing is, you're actually encouraged to do so.
Yep.
Because when you're not on Mother Base, you know, the staff itself needs morale boosters. They might start infighting between them. And most importantly, people will not necessarily be willing to go out on missions for you a whole lot anymore.
Yeah, so you've got to be check back here every now and then, and there's plenty to do to look around.
And what you're seeing right now is a very well developed.
Yeah, this Mother Base is big. Yeah, I was wondering when you mentioned going for a ride, I knew we were a little ways away from the. There we go. So we get these to help you get around.
Right.
Hop in, and you can actually drive around your enormous Mother Base. Get some things done. Where are you headed out to?
I believe this is the med platform, but I'm not totally sure.
All right.
Nope, combat
unit platform. So this is where your guys train for combat. So in addition to beating up your guards, you can come out here and do some practice shooting. Take a look at the base. You can check out your zoo. I believe we're going to do that a little later on. And a few other things here. Or later on in another video, I believe.
Yeah, so we're going to head on over to our combat, do some training. But for everything else, with Mother Base, the combat system, be sure to check out our big old wiki, which both Jared and myself have been working tirelessly on.
Yep.
And also check out cool news and stuff on the rest of the site, which is
IGN.